ladies and gentlemen, this is Eddie Marcus. One more time. Got some information I'd like to share with you for whatever benefit it might have. I want you to know that the people of the world, the powers that be, I hear that it's less than 8,000 folks that runs the whole doggone world, and that means all of the billions of people on earth. They use you like sheep herders and dogs use the sheep. That's what they say. And when you become aware of what's really going on in the world and around your most immediate environment, you will conclude, perhaps if you're wise enough, that that is exactly how the people are responding, as if sheep. But every now and then somebody gets this information. They call them whistleblowers, or people who are enlightened, who will stand up and not only speak the truth but represent the truth. Now, I want to tell you about this nation. I'm speaking to all the people of the world, but I'm using America as my evidence. I grew up in America, and I found myself in love with America, even when I was treated as a slave, because I didn't know any better. When I found out that my people, black people, were and had been slaves, it changed my opinion of this country. Not only did it change my opinion based upon how they had been treated in the past, I looked around me and saw how they were being treated at that present, and I saw no difference than before. And so it gave me a commitment that this nation was exactly what it had always been, and nothing has changed to make me think that it is more progressive. In fact, I think it's worse, especially with this election of President Donald Trump and all of the games he's playing. But I want you to know, America, when they say things about certain people and how they conduct themselves, I know when you think that your point of view is the one that they hold to, that whatever said about them that's positive you like, and if it's not, you dislike. See, that's the way sheep are. And let me give you a typical example. If you hate Donald Trump, and then you have InfoWars come on television, on YouTube or Facebook or wherever it comes on, you hate Donald Trump, you will be mad as you can be with this turkey that's advocating for Donald Trump through InfoWars. You couldn't stand him. But the people who are supporting Donald Trump would think he's God sent. And he himself would think he's God sent, being connected to Donald Trump. And everything that Donald Trump's doing is something that he wants to do. Now, that's one stage of the understanding. The other is that he could be paid to do just that, to keep you, the people, misguided and disinformed, or misinformed and ignorant. All of these things happen to serve a purpose of those 800 or so people that runs the world. Did I say 800? I saw a figure somewhere, but that might have been 8,000. I'm not sure. But I guarantee you it's not a million. Now, if you like Miss Clinton when the election was going on, everything that was said about Miss Clinton you couldn't stand. And those things that were said for Miss Clinton you loved. You loved. You loved. Even the fact that you found out that the Democratic Party backstabbed Sanders, trying to get him out of the race, when you yourselves knew that Sanders stood a better chance of defeating Donald Trump than Miss Clinton. But you didn't want anybody to say anything about Miss Clinton. They tell you about all the problems she's been held in, all the murders that the family was associated with. You just didn't want to hear it. Was it true? You don't care. Why? Because you're like those sheep. It's what in your brain that's being scrubbed and rubbed. That's what you want to hear. They call them stupid folks. Not never having the ability to receive information and analyze it, to digest it and see what comes up. You just go for what you like. And this nation and all the nations of the world has been manipulated just like this all the time, all the time. And this is why I stood up the other day and told the American people, whoever would listen, and if you check my post, you'll see maybe about 3 or 4, maybe 6 or 7 people might have clicked in on it. And I can guarantee you maybe 3 of those were mine, checking back to see if anybody else had checked, and they had not. So that lets me know that the stupidity that the people of America and the people of the world are choking down their minds every day is going to be with them for quite some while. Nevertheless, it doesn't impede me from coming forward and giving it to you anyway. You see, when you think about people that are being appointed in office, I want you to know how your government works. When I was in the military, Ronald Reagan was president of the United States. There were people who benefited from the policies of Ronald Reagan. They thought, and they still think, that Ronald Reagan is the greatest president. Somebody say since FDR. Some people say Ronald Reagan is the greatest president this nation has ever had. And yet, Ronald Reagan caused so much oppression and sickness and suffering to people till it's pathetic. And those people don't think Ronald Reagan was anything. Now, directly, I did not feel much of the pain that poor people were feeling, but I felt the pain. And I refused, not just because the pain I felt, that wasn't even much, but it's the pain that others were receiving. And I call myself one imbued with spirit from the spirit of love. And I just wasn't going to sit back and not say anything and do something if I could. Well, saying really didn't profit me that much, but at least doing something did. And that is that I refused to take orders from your commander-in-chief, Ronald Reagan. I refused to take orders. That was my protest. Got me busted and raped, got me sent to the Philippines and put in the brig. But I'm going to let you know how the thing works. Having been put in the brig in the Philippines and coming out as a champion for love, locked up in that institution, got a chance to talk to many people and kind of give them some enlightenment upon the persecution that they've been going through, give them some insight on the scam that they've been pushed through that caused them to commit the acts that they have committed that put them in that institution. These are people who refused to be sheep. And they stood up in the only way they knew how. It ended them up in jail. You see, the systems have ways that they can push you, and then they make laws to guide you there in the event that you decide not to go that way. They will do all of those things that the laws permit. And what are they? They are anything to get you to stand up like they want you to stand, bend up like they want you to bend, and don't argue. So these people received a little enlightened information from me, and they liked it. And so what did the Navy do to me? They assessed that I was probably one with a voice. Having gotten out of the military, I'm probably going to be standing up, going to probably be a protester, what they call people who concerned about other folks to the extent that I'll do something. So what do? You try to find something on me. If you can't find anything, you try to set something up. So when I start running my mouth and you start listening, they can pull us up. They call that blackmail. The same thing that people were talking about Donald Trump's, the guy that advisor, talking to Russians. Well, they said, well, you got to get rid of him because the Russians might compromise him by blackmailing him. See, that works. Blackmailing him. I don't want to call his name. And so what they do to people like me and Flynn and others, oh, his name slipped out. They find stuff that they can blackmail them on. They knew when they were talking about vetting Flynn, he had already been vetted. He was the kind of turkey that they wanted. Somebody who was crooked, no good, and could he stand the test? All he had to do was stand the test. They already knew he wasn't worth a damn, but could he stand the test? He proved that he couldn't stand the test. So they had to immediately try to fire him. And the thing goes a little bit deeper, that if people keep on digging, they're going to find some stuff on him that would lead them to the bigger stuff. And this is why he's saying immunity. I'll talk, because he didn't want the stuff to cause him any more pain and suffering that it has already. And that's not just what they were doing to Flynn. They did it to me in the Philippines, and when I was sent to Japan, they did it again. They set some agent up, Japanese agent, to play like she was my girlfriend, to be there for me, to share in with me, to give me love in the bed if I wanted it, and to smoke weed with me if I wanted it, so she can talk with me, get my confidence, and wherever my mindset is, she can record one way or another and feed that information back to intelligence. I knew what was going on. Even I think I mentioned some time ago, I was at a club in Japan, and I was leaving that night, headed back to my place of residence, and I was stopped by a car, a man and a woman, Japanese. A man invited me to have sex with his wife. Now, I ain't dumb. I knew they were agents. I knew they could have taken me out in the boonies somewhere and killed me. It didn't matter to me, because, hey, when you free, you free. But here's somebody offering you some free pussy. So what do? Well, I got a choice. I can walk away, or I can go get it. I went and got it. Now, that ain't your business, but I ain't got nothing to hide from. Men fuck every day. People or their fish. So I went and got me some, and I did it for me, not for you. It wasn't worth it, but I just did it to let the government know that if you come and bring some shit on me like this, I can help you. I want the message out there. Anyway, they accepted that. I'm sure they got all the information. And one night they even brought a prostitute to an open bay barracks with nothing but military guys in, and for everybody to have sex with, just to make sure that they got me engaged in it. So when you start listening to me, you can, oh, that nigga's no damn good. Look what he was doing. Look what he did. All of this while you yourselves are taking the dick up your ass all the time. But I'm saying this to you because I don't give a fuck what you think. I'm just telling you this because you need to know. And so what am I saying to you? I'm saying to you that these people that are being put in office, I don't care what level. If you're being chosen to go in office, you're being chosen to go in office because you're no damn good. Now, I would say, let's say the justices. Let me just say the justices of the Supreme Court of the United States. They got 9. Out of that 9, you might find 4 or 3 that's legitimate people. Everything else is a crook. That thing Donald Trump just appointed into the Supreme Court went straight in, and I hear that the first thing he signed out on was this death penalty killing things down in Arkansas. First act, kill him down in Arkansas. Kill him, kill him, kill him. Now, they knew that's what he would do before they put him in. Now, they didn't put him in specifically for that action in Arkansas, but the kind of act, the like action, stuff that needs to get done, whether it's right or wrong, just go along with it. Program people, support us. That's what he is. That's exactly what it is. And this is what the American people are counting on. They hope this other guy retires so they can get another nut up there that can help screw you, the people, American people. Okay, well, that's always up to you, ladies and gentlemen. Always up to you. But as long as you got that sheep mentality, you're going to go for everything that you are sent, except the truth. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I told you the last time. I'm going to tell you one more time. You can believe it if you want to. And I know you're not going to believe it. Not now. You got to go through even a deeper hell. There is a heaven. And just as sure as there's a heaven, there's a hell. Heaven is built on love. Hell is built on hate. When you say love, love means treating people like you want to be treated. That means that love advocates for peace, prosperity, and joy. That means that love advocates for those things that are common amongst human beings, not just Americans, but human beings all over the land for survival, like food, shelter, clothing, education, health care, and to meet these needs by making sure that everybody got a job, and a job of their own choosing so they'd love it and won't be wanting to quit it, but love doing it. Now that's love in operation. Love in operation. Hate doesn't work like that. Hate works the opposite. Hate doesn't want you doing anything for love. Hate wants you doing it for money. Money. Love will give you anything. Money will too if you got it. But you're not going to get it unless you bend to that power that took Jesus Christ on the cross up there on that mountain and said, all these things I'll give to you if you bend down and let me stick it to you. Jesus said no. But when he asked Ronald Reagan, he said yes. When he asked Barack Obama and Bill Clinton and George Bush and Donald Trump, they all said, yes, devil, we'll do what you want us to do. And so what they've been in power, doing exactly what the devil wants them to do. And you, the people who go to church every Sunday, been lied to, you don't know what the truth is. You just follow what somebody say because it was happening before you came. It survived that stage. It'll survive your stage and your children's stage. And all the time you falling straight down the pit of hell. Why do you think they told you that in order to support the church, you tithe? You give the church 10%. And you give God, they don't say the church, they say give God 10%. And the rest of the money, you can do what you want with. Now what does that 10% do? That 10% doesn't do anything. Does it? It keeps the church within the system because they got to pay bills and responsibilities and obligations. And when you become talking about things like mega churches, you give people power to control people. Control people. I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, this mega church, when the gates that leads to a better world are open or swung open, there are going to be 2 of them. One is going to be wide. And there's one going to be narrow. There's one, the path that's going to be straight. And there's one that's not going to be straight. It's going to take in this lie, that lie, this killer, this murderer, this homosexual, this gay, this faggot, this nut, this, all of you who walk around here being led like a fool, it's going to be on that path. That broad path. And you're going to all go through that wide gate. And where you going? The same place that hell leads you, because that's hell. How do you get there? You want to tell you all the demons? You ain't got to look for the demons. They all billionaires and trillionaires. You say, well, they were smart. They look at the money they got. They weren't smart, except they lied to you, and you were dumb and stupid and bought it. And they're getting the money out of you. Out of you. Money that doesn't mean a darn thing. Just a tool to make you look like a fool. Everybody wants some money. Let me tell you this. This is going to piss you off. This is going to really piss you off. Let me say this again. This is going to really piss you off. Everybody who has a job, whether you're working minimum wages, whether you're doing better, whether you're making 6 figures or 7 figures or so on and so forth a year, I know you're excited about it. You think you're special, but you're an agent of the devil. You're an agent of hell. That's why you're doing it. That's why you're doing it. Hell continues to exist because of your support. Those demons up at the top, the Bilderbergers, the secret societies, those devils. And when I say devils, I'm talking about people who just believe in Satan and want to make sure that Satan get all the representation that Satan needs. Those are your richest people in the world. And you don't know that. You don't know that. You really don't know that. You hear people like me and many others tell you that, but you don't believe it. Why? Because you want so bad to be there. Those guys can fly on planes anywhere they want to go. They can buy anything they want to buy. They can do anything they want to do. And you want to be able to do that too. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. You can be a trillionaire or a poor man. Puss is the same. And rich or poor, it gets boring. And for the rich, that's why they start killing kids, sucking their blood, thinking they're going to give them a new inspiration, a new boost of power so they can keep on doing the things they've been doing all the time. Killing people, sacrificing people. You don't know this. You probably think I'm crazy for saying it. How in the world could people do that to people? Did you see some folks dropping bombs everywhere? Did you hear in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, did you hear those atom bombs that were killing people years and years after the bombs were dropped? Do you hear people walking in the churches blowing people's brains out? Do you see people standing down the street killing people with bombs that they may ship? And you say, why? And how can they do that? Do you know we had a civil war? Do you know we had World War I and World War II? These people are doing any goddamn thing. And so what are people that say they are divine, they're being led by love? What are they to do? They are definitely not to act like the people who are supporting hell. See, people who are supporting hell grab guns. They take an oath. I'll kill for you because you're protecting me. Kill those people over there because I'm fearful of them. They have no sense. They'll come and kill me. Why would they come and kill you? Because of what you've been doing to them. Well, it wasn't me, it's our government. But did you stop them? No, we'll kill them anyway because I don't want them over here trying to get us back. That's what our sentiment is. And I say I'm talking about the American people. I don't mean me. But I will say one thing. It was me at one time until I understood what was going on. When the truth slapped me inside the face and it hurt. And it woke me up. It haven't gotten you yet. It hasn't. Because many of you can't see the world as being foolish and full of evil and devilish things. But you don't know any alternative but that. What is your defense? Outsmart the devil. Be a bigger devil than the devil himself. For those of you who were following devil Clinton, you were saying be a bigger devil. With your votes, be a bigger devil than Donald Trump. You weren't saying they're really small, but be a bigger devil than Donald Trump. And the reverse, Donald Trump's people were saying be a bigger devil than Miss Clinton. And all America got in the world got was devils. Devils. And now you're seeing the outcomes of devil. And guess what? The supporters of the devil that is in office is bagging it up all the way. This devil is good. This is the best devil. Everything is going to be great. This devil is the best devil of all devils. And that comes out of that devil's mouth. And you sit up and support it. And the people who supported other devils are pissed off. Not because what you are doing is so terrible. It's because they don't have their devil in office. Because that's exactly what their devil would be doing. The same identical thing. So I'm saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, I gave you this little bit of information to let you know there's a difference between heaven and hell. The devils are going to do their thing. This was never intended to be like this. But the possibilities of it happening always exist. Because in order to have heaven, you got to have hell. In order to have hell, you got to have heaven. The thing of it is, you the people have been given choice. You weren't given hell or heaven. You were given choice to choose. And not just be put in some place. You walk in that place. You might be led there, but you walk in. And what you have done is walk so deep into hell that anybody that stands up for God, anybody that's filled with love will be killed, will be put out of this misery. And anybody who knows the truth will be glad to be put out of this hell. And all this threatening stuff, what you going to do to them, they don't give a damn. What they going to miss? A hot dog? A piece of bacon? You know, people like bacon better than they do steak. Looking at their kids grow up into the same hellhole that they couldn't save. And a piece of booty at night. You put that stuff over there in hell. I can teach you some stuff that will make heaven look great. Anyway, until next time, I thought I'd just share this with you. This is Marcus, Eddie Marcus, spokesman and advocate for that wonderful life, your dream life, for everybody, where it does not include hurt, where it does not include pain, where it does not include exploitation of others for your own benefit, and where money has no knowledge of anybody's pocket. Bye-bye.